It seems difficult to make it clear that the proposal for a national dividend, which would enable the products of our industrial system to be bought by our own population, has nothing to do with socialism, as that is commonly understood. The main idea of socialism appears to be the nationalization of productive undertakings and their administration by government departments. Whatever merits such a proposal may have or may not have, it does not touch the difficulty we have been considering. The provision of a national dividend is merely to place in the hands of each one of the population, in the form of dividend-paying shares, a share of what is now known as the national debt, without, however, confiscating that which is already in private hands, since the national credit is in fact immensely greater than that portion of the national debt which now provides incomes to individuals. The practical effect of a national dividend would be firstly to provide a secure source of income to individuals, which, though it might be desirable to augment it by work when obtainable, would nevertheless provide all the necessary purchasing power to maintain self-respect and health. By providing a steady demand upon our producing system, it would go a long way towards stabilizing business conditions and would assure producers of a constant home market for their goods. We already have the beginnings of such a system in our various pension schemes and unemployment insurance, but the defect for the moment of these is that they are put forward in connection with schemes of taxation, which go a long way towards neutralizing their beneficial effect. While this is inevitable under our present monetary system, it is far from being inevitable when the essentially public nature of the monetary system receives the recognition which is its due, but is not yet granted to it by our bankers. But you may ask with reason why the provision of a national dividend, even if effective in removing the prime motive for aggressive war on the part of Great Britain, would so affect the motives of other nations as to prevent them from making war upon us. I think the answer to this is twofold. In the first place, I believe it to be, while the present financial system persists at any rate, merely sentimental to suppose that a weak nation, particularly if it be also a rich nation, is a factor making for peace. Quite the contrary. It is as sensible to say that a bank would never be robbed if it had paper walls. International bankers are, almost to a man, strong advocates of national disarmament, but their bank clerks, alone amongst civilian employees in this country, are armed with revolvers, and the strength of bank premises compares with that of modern fortresses. Strength, unaccompanied by a motive for aggression, is a factor making for peace. A radical modification of the existing financial system will make it possible to build up a strong and united nation, free from economic dissension, which would by its strength offer a powerful deterrent to aggressive war. And secondly, the spectacle of a contented and prosperous Britain, willing to trade, but not forced by unemployment to fight for trade, would provide an irresistible object lesson in genuine progress and would, I think, be imitated everywhere. Finally, you may ask why these modifications should not be made. For that, I am afraid, I must refer you to the Bank of England, which is all-powerful in these matters. Mr. Montague Norman, the governor of the Bank of England, which is a private company, described the relations of the Bank of England and the Treasury as those of Tweedledum and Tweedledee. I should not like you to suppose that I am accusing bankers of a wish to precipitate war. Far from it. I am confident that bankers dislike war only less than they dislike any change in a financial system with which, almost alone amongst other sections of the community, they appear to be completely satisfied.
The talk you have just heard was one of a series entitled The Causes of War. The speaker was Major C.H. Douglas, and his talk was recorded in the London studios of the British Broadcasting Corporation.